What is up, everybody? Welcome to AK Plays. I'm AK. Let's play.
She wasn't ready.
Alright, everybody, today I'm going to jump right into the build, and it is 3-piece ALPHABRIDGE, 2-piece Banshee, and a Ninja Bike bag. The idea of this build is to give you a AR beam build that you can use primarily with a team. It can do solo, however, I think if you're doing solo, there's probably better things you could run. And as for a team, there are other AR builds that could work that would allow you to run vigorous. However, I think that this is a really fun way, especially if you want to just do as much damage as possible. I think this is a very hard-hitting AR build, especially when you have a pulse on your team. Your primary weapon is a lightweight with deadly, unforgiving, responsive, and your ALPHABRIDGE slot is competent. And then these are the attachments. The next M4 has sustained, predatory, competent, and responsive is its ALPHABRIDGE from the other AR. Then these are the attachments. Now, if we look at the pistol I just keep around your determined cool-headed just in case you need an ult back quickly. Now onto the chest piece. It is an ALPHABRIDGE chest rolled for firearms, exotic damage resilience, health, and your minor should be ammo capacity. Then these are the ALPHABRIDGE bonuses. Now moving on to the mask, we have an ALPHABRIDGE mask rolled for firearms, critical hit chance, and burn resistance. On the knees, we have ALPHABRIDGE knees rolled for stamina, health, shock, burn, and disrupt resistance. On the holster, we have a Banshee holster rolled for critical hit chance, and here's the Banshee bonuses. Now we have Banshee gloves rolled for firearms, critical hit damage, assault rifle damage, and critical hit chance. We have a Ninja Bike bag rolled for firearms, stability, and ammo capacity. If you feel like you don't need stability, then I think health could be a good roll there. However, I think stability is pretty important on this beam build. On the mods, we have firearms, critical hit chance, support station healing speed, and support station range. On the holster, we have support station healing speed. And on the knees, we have firearms, critical hit chance, and support station healing speed. Then on the mask, we have firearms, critical hit chance. And on the chest piece, we have firearms, critical hit chance, and firearms, critical hit chance. Now, on to the fun stuff. You can see our critical hit chance is very low. It's at 28%, but we have good critical hit damage and good headshot damage, decent accuracy and stability, and really you're hoping to have a pulse to kind of boost that crit chance up, but if you don't, you can still do some solid damage. Our skills, we have a booster shot to give you damage and damage resistance. And then we have our immune station, which is going to be basically our main heal. For an ult, I run either a recovery link or a blue survivor link, depending if I'm solo or with a team. As for your talents, you have adrenaline, critical save, precision, and on the move if you're running solo. However, if you're running with a team, you could probably get rid of precision and run combat medic. That would be if you have a teammate who has a pulse for you, which would be very, very good. If you want a little bit more ability to beam and you don't feel like you're going to get put on status effects, you might be able to get away with steady hands. But that's really it. That's the build. I'm going to talk a little bit more about it now for you guys because I feel like I just rushed right through that. Basically, I just wanted to quick show it to you before I got into really what it's all about. Now, it is a really fun, strong build, and it does a lot of damage when you're solo, and it does a ton of damage when you're in a team. I think the intention that I had when I made this build was for it to be a team DPS AR beam build. The problem we were running into is a lot of servers where you wouldn't get a ton of people pushing up, you would just get a lot of people kind of standing back in groups, and if you tried to rush them with SMGs, it was very difficult because you were running into a mound of people that would get you. And if you tried to outbeam them, usually they would be able to heal up and stay alive. So basically, I wanted to go into a ton of damage and really just stack it on with an AR beam build that doesn't sacrifice a whole lot into accuracy and stability, but rather has a ton into damage. Now, when you are running with a pulse, this build is insane. You hit good crit chance, you have great crit damage, and you have a great base damage. It's just all around awesome when you have a pulse on your team. However, I don't think it's absolutely necessary. It's just highly, highly encouraged if you want to get the most out of this build. I think any AR build benefits the most from having a pulse. Most SMG builds don't really require it, it's just kind of helpful. But either way, I've been having a lot of fun with it. I ran it for, I would say I probably ran this build for 4 or 5 days, and I've had a lot of fun with it, some good success. Just depending on how the DZ is, sometimes SMGs do feel like they would be a better choice. However, for a lot of situations, I have seen that ARs have been particularly helpful. Mostly the one I was mentioning earlier, where people are kind of just sitting back and not pushing, and there's too many of them for you to push with an SMG. Then these AR builds with this kind of DPS are very helpful, because if someone peeks out around a corner for too long and you can burn them down, it's very nice. And also if someone's pushing, or if you're getting hit with double grenades and you survive it at low health, you get that Unforgiving proc, which on this build feels like it does a ton of damage. Those first 2 clips that happened in the DZ while I was solo, you could definitely see how that Unforgiving helps, because when you're at low health, it is amazing how much damage this does. And you also have to be very, very present in your mind to realize when you're hitting your skills, when you have your competent up, and knowing that that is a huge damage swing. Going from having no big bonuses to hitting your booster shot, which stacks your booster shot damage on top of the competent damage, is very strong. All of a sudden you're doing quite a bit more damage. So it's definitely something that you have to keep in your head, and it's kind of cerebral in that regard. But other than that, it is a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it. I've seen pretty good success with it. And overall, the one thing that I think is definitely variable is if you want to switch out some of those healing speed mods for that box range mod, I think you might get a little more utility out of that. I don't really think that you get a whole lot of healing speed out of having those healing speed mods. It's just kind of something that's in my head, where I've ran it for so long that way that I feel like that tiny bit of healing helps me. It might not. It might just be kind of a placebo effect. So I think that if you want, you would probably want to run range mods just to give you a bigger immune station. I think that's probably a better call. But other than that, the only thing that I think is really variable is depending if you want more or less stability. You kind of have that stability on the backpack to play with. Other than that, if you think that's not enough stability, I think there's other things you can probably switch around to get more stability or to get more accuracy, depending on what you feel like you need. But either way, I hope you enjoy the build. I'll quit talking and let you guys just enjoy the gameplay. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.
AK 10K. AK 10K. What? 10K firearms?
Nope.
AK 10K. What? 10K firearms?
Objective updated.
I got you, fam!